Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Imam bin Abdullah. My metric number AE190055. So now I would like to run simulation for activity 2. So this is the complete circuit diagram for activity 2. The first component we have 10 volt DC source, 2 DC emitter and 1 resistor for our load. So for this sample I'm using 100 ohm. So we run the simulation. So on the top we have 0.10 amp, that is for the current before the load, and on the below we have 0.10 amp, which is the current for the after the load. So next sample I'm using 150 ohm. So on the top we have 0.06 amp, which is current before the load, and on the bottom, on the below we have 0.06, which is before after the load. Okay, next for the 200 ohm sample, so at top we have 0.05 amp, which is the current before load, and on the below we have 0.05 also for the load, for the current before after the load. Okay, for the last sample, which is 300 ohm, so at the top we have 0.03 amp, which is current before the load, and on the below we have 0.03, which is the current after the load. So that's all for the presentation for activity 2. Thank you.
Name is Amar Safi Bezumzuri Arifin, matrix number AE190061, and I'll be presenting for activity 3 for experiment 7. So for the activity 3, we need to do a circuit by the manual debate, which is consists of V source, DC V source, two loads, which is resistor 1, resistor 2, and voltmeter to measure the volt for each resistor. So for the first sample, we put the value for the V source with 10 volt, and for the value of R1 is 200 and the R2 is 100. And after that, we run the circuit to get this value, which is for VR1 we get 6.67 and VR2 we get is 3.33 volt. And after that, we change the value for R1 and R2 for the other sample, which is for the second sample, we change the value for R1, which is the value for R1 is remain the same, while the value for R2 is changed to 150 ohm. And so we get the reading for voltmeter for each resistor. And for the sample 3, we change the value for the R2 to 200 ohm, while the value for R1 is remain the same. As you can see, we get both value of volt for resistor is 5 volt, while for the last sample, which is sample 4, we remain the value for the R1 with 200 ohm, while the value for R2 we change it to 300 ohm, and we run the circuit to get the voltmeter reading, which is for the R1 we get the reading for voltmeter is 4 volt, while for R2 we get the reading is 6 volt. All of the sample use the same type of source and also same value for the B source. That's all for me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fikri Hadis bin Spawi. My matrix number is 8818001. Right now, I would like to present the activity 4 for experiment 7. Okay, the first thing that we need to do, we need to build this circuit in wherever software, electronic or electric that we can use. I'm using Produce Informational to build the circuit, and this activity 4, we need to find the voltage U1, U2, U3, and U4, and the current for I1, I2, and I3. You can see here. Okay. Then after that, I just build it, and you can see here. Okay, this is the for the battery we use for 10 volts. This R1, this R2, R3, and R4. This is we labeled as U1. This is for U2. This is for U3, and this is for U4. And this it will label as I1. This for I2, and this for the I3. Okay, then we just need to run it after. As you can see, we get the value for U1. The voltage is 6.47 volts, and for the I1 we got 32.4 milliampere, and for the U2 we get 3.53 volts, and for the I2 we got 23.5 milliampere. Then we look at this, we find that the U3 is 0.88 volts, and the U4 is 2.65 volts, and for the I3 is 8.82 milliampere. I think that's all from me for the presentation. Thank you.